5% loaded.
The trailer is partly empty, but still contains 15,000 pounds of cargo.
If I start pulling them out and it starts to go that way, then I'm stuck, you know what I mean?
I'll just put a low line on the suspension and pull down.
And I'll just get the toe pin and we'll just pull them out.
It's really an urgent situation to get onto that trailer, hook up to it, hold it, and make sure it's not going to flip over.
He's made the right call here to hold that trailer down.
With the Mack rigged to the back, Jamie will hold on to the trailer, while Cam pulls the tractor forward with the General. Brandon arrives to set up traffic control, and Jamie moves them.
Floods are the most common severe weather emergency in the U.S. More than half the deaths that occurred during floods are in a vehicle. That's why it's important to know what to do if you find yourself driving in a flood. First, never try driving through floodwaters. Turn around, don't drown. If it's deeper than 4 inches, that's a no-go. Sinkholes or washouts could be present under the surface. Just 6 inches of water is enough to get in most cars and could cause you to lose control. A foot of water is enough to carry off a small car. Do not try to drive through water against approaching vehicles. The wave they create could cause your engine to stall or even more serious damage. Most importantly, do not assume you know anything about the road you're trying to drive on, even if you've driven on it before. For more safety and preparedness tips and tools, visit AccuWeather.com/ready.
It is time for some trivia. Tonight we're asking, what is diamond dust? Well, here's your thinking second, and the answer is, it's a term for ice crystals. That is our AccuFact for tonight.
All right, let's take you out to the field conditions. First on the list, Pittsburgh at Baltimore. This game taking place on Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. It's going to be rainy, so if you are heading out to that game, make sure you pack that rain gear. Meanwhile, Houston at Indianapolis happening at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time here on our Saturday. Temperature 35. Those clouds socked in. Tampa Bay at Carolina. Well, hey, if you're heading out to this game, you'll see some sunshine. Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, temperature 52. LA now at San Francisco at Santa Clara, California. Well, temperature 55. That game's at 1:15 p.m. Pacific Time. We'll see mostly sunny skies here for that game. Lastly on our list, Buffalo at Miami. This is Miami Gardens. This game at 8:20 p.m. Eastern Time. Temperature 67. You're active with a real field temperature right on the money, though it is going to be quite cloudy there for the start of that game.
All right, Bree, good stuff. Well, it is time for a look ahead into the extended forecast, and we're going to begin with the weekend with snow returning to the northeast. That's a big, big story. Drenching rain in the southeast. But also, story number 3 becomes our extended storyline driver here with another round of rain and snow into the west. So that system is going to be causing some trouble. So we have one storm that we've been talking a lot about for the east, and rightfully so. But this next one has a future, and this is going to become a monstrous storm for Monday and Tuesday as it moves from the western U.S. into the central plains. Here's the snow on the north side, widespread snow through much of the Midwest and the central plains. Some of the southern plains will see rain and snow mixed with widespread rain and even some thunderstorms to the south. Some of these storms could be severe Monday into Monday night. This is additional drought relief, but also there's the risk for isolated tornadoes, damaging wind, and we'll have to keep a close eye on that. Now, Energy Stadium, an indoor venue, but there could be some thunderstorms outside around the National College Football Championship game. To the east, drenching rain. Some of this will involve snowmelt after the weekend storm. Here comes the rain for next week, but also widespread snow. And there's potential that some could see a near blizzard with this in parts of the Central Plains and into the Great Lakes Monday night, and through Tuesday and Tuesday night. It is time for tonight's edition of Prime Cuts, and these are some of the best videos that have come into the AccuWeather Network. Bree, now what's the scariest thing you've ever seen in the ocean?
In the
ocean?
A jellyfish.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of wimpy.
But no, it's good, though. You don't want to deal with those things. And take a look at this. A right whale named Halo and a newborn calf was spotted in the waters of Cumberland Island off the Georgia coast. This is one of 3 whale sightings across Georgia and Florida in recent memory. This is really cool. You
know, Jeff, whales are my second favorite animal, so they're not scary to me. Yeah. Do you have any good names for the calf, Jeff?
I'm going to go with Spunky. I don't know. It's weird. But that's a good name for a little whale.
I like it. He has a little pepper and stuff.
It's one of those names, though, that you want to name the creature when they're tiny, and then they get huge, and it doesn't fit. Like a cuddly name for a little...
So it's kind of like tongue-in-cheek. I like it.
I guess so. I don't know. Yeah.
And it was a foggy day in Reno, Nevada, as the low clouds shrouded over the city on New Year's Eve. Certainly not a good view if you're looking for a fireworks celebration to bring in the new year. And we could take you now to Colorado. Our last Prime Cuts from Colorado Springs, and it's a feel-good story when the first part was kind of tough. A dog fell into the ice at a local park, but lucky for the dog, a firefighter sprang into action, helping get the dog out of the ice with the assistance from other first responders. And these are scary moments, but this one ended well. This one did. You have to look at the bright side. And Jeff, you are a firefighter. Have you ever had to do any cold water rescues? I've never done, no. I have not. We don't have a whole lot of water here in the State College PA community, but when I was in local TV in Toledo, I got to do a story with the Coast Guard where I put on a dry suit and demonstrated how to get out of the ice if you fall through it. So I jumped into the frozen Maumee River. Wow. It was cool. It was a fun story. So the Coast Guard helped us out there. Wow, that's wild. But I'm just so happy that the pup is okay. Great end to the story, right? We love it. Well, we have another hour of Prime ahead, including the latest on the weekend snowstorm brewing for the Northeast.
And here's a live look from Del Mar, California, just to the north of San Diego. Big waves out there. We have more Prime coming up after the break.
I'm Ariella Scalise, and let's do some traveling because we could have some impacts that will bring some slower travel for you throughout our Thursday. Most of those into the West Coast. Seattle could see some minor delays, and Denver with a little bit of snow moving on through. Expect a few delays. Nice to see drier weather returning to California, so flying in and out of LA should be good to go. Dallas, no delays are expected. Sunshine takes over. And although we may have some clouds along the East Coast, not expecting any delays because of the weather. So we take you a little bit closer region by region. I mentioned Seattle. I also think Portland could have some minor delays with some showers moving on through. And Salt Lake City maybe a delay or two with some winter weather. Speaking of the winter weather, that continues to push through Colorado and New Mexico. So Albuquerque up to Denver, do expect some delays because of weather. Into California, though, and through the desert, we should be good to go. Not expecting any delays due to weather. Cooler conditions throughout the north central, some clouds in Bismarck, but no precip to work with. Sun glare may be the only thing, but no delays are expected. And we take you into parts of the south central, looking good from Dallas down to Houston, Little Rock, and New Orleans, expecting pretty good travel conditions through our Thursday. Into the southeast after wet weather made its way through on our Wednesday. Our Thursday is looking much nicer, although maybe a chill in the air. Not expecting delays from the weather. Could see a flake or two flying through Columbus, but I don't think weather delays are going to impact you. Any travel throughout the Midwest should be good to go. And we could see a little bit of snow moving through Buffalo, Montreal, into Bangor, where we could see a few minor delays, but Boston, good to go for your Thursday. Up and down 95, travel should not be impacted because of weather. We will have more clouds sticking around, but overall good travel over the next couple of days. A big winter storm, though, brings impacts this weekend, so expect some flight cancellations.
Coming up tonight on AccuWeather Prime. A major weekend snowstorm is looming for parts of the Northeast. We'll have the latest on the track and expected snowfall amounts. Beyond this weekend, we're also watching for another major storm system to sweep across the country.
That's going to have everything but the kitchen sink. Severe weather, heavy snow, and flooding rain.
We're looking ahead to let you know what to watch out for next week where you live. Winter 2024 is kicking off with an El Nino.
El Ninos don't happen too often. We get them once every 2 to 7 years.
Hear how this phenomenon will impact the early part of the winter season. All of those stories and more. Get ready for AccuWeather Prime. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Welcome to AccuWeather Prime. I'm Jeff Cornish. Bree Guy is going to be joining us, as well as a few others here on the team. So we have video from all over the world coming in. A lot of this, some of this is from western parts of Europe. Look at the flooding in France, big time flooding. Also, we have some widespread rain that has recently rolled through California. The mountains have seen some snow. There's the footage of Truckee. That's a car. We're going to take you to that story in just a little bit. And widespread snow into Soda Springs, also Big Bear Lake. Good news. It's good to see some snow there in Southern California. And we'll tell you about a pretty dramatic dog rescue. That story ends well. We'll have more on those stories in just a bit. Our top story tonight takes us to the Northeast, where we're getting ready for weekend snow. A few of you, not many, but a few of you are dealing with a little bit of snow right now, tied to a band of some lake effect. And we can check out AccuWeather's MinuteCast here, one of the nice features on the AccuWeather app. For areas of upstate New York. In fact, if we take you into the area around, say, Watertown, New York, we could turn the feature on here. That will allow us to approximate the timing of the rain or snow. And in here, in this area, we're dealing with a little bit of a mixed bag with some snow and rain moving through. You can see it's primarily snow, but we're going to get a little break for some. And then into parts of the Watertown area, the snow will pick back up around 9:30, but it's not going to last long. That's the message here. You can see mainly white on that timeline. So, again, WinterCast is really good at approximating the timing of rain or snow. And we do have not just some snow to the north, but also a batch of rain tied to the southeastern storm. That is going to be exiting stage right here, but there's a little bit of snow into parts of the western section of Virginia there, west of I-81. That's in progress right now. That is not the big weekend storm. That's just kind of its predecessor. It's been a long time since we've seen a full inch of snow in one calendar day in the Northeast. And in New York City, it's been 689 days. That's a record. Philadelphia, 704 days since we saw that. And that's also a record longest streak. You have to go back to January 29th of almost 2 years ago for the last date in which we saw an inch of snow. That streak will likely end, will probably end. We're hedging our words here. It's not a sure bet, but it's probably going to end in Philadelphia and in New York this Saturday. Currently, we're at 33 in Columbus, Detroit, and in Buffalo. Pretty nippy there. Still 42 into D.C., about a 9-degree difference from the cold side to the warmer side. And we do have that weak disturbance bringing some snow showers and squalls. We could see a couple of areas downwind of Lake Erie and Lake Ontario with low visibility and some danger for travelers tonight and tomorrow. You might see a quick half of an inch to an inch with this system, and that can come down in a hurry, so be careful. But Friday, quieter, chilly. This is the calm before the storm. Here comes the storm, though. There's storm number 1 going away offshore. Friday's the quiet day. We'll watch this Saturday. This major weekend snowstorm is going to be looming. We say major. Now, if you're in Ocean City, New Jersey, it'll be mainly rain, maybe a little burst of snow, under a half inch, and rain. Farther west, though, Philadelphia, probably around an inch of snow, and then you'll switch over to rain, as the rain-snow line will also nudge into New York City. It's mainly snow in Boston, maybe a little rain on the back end of this, but this scoots up the coast here. There's a Saturday night perspective. Our storm snapshot shows the snow in the blue. The pink or purple zone is where we have snow changing over to maybe a little bit of sleet and then rain. It will change over to rain into Baltimore as Pittsburgh is playing Baltimore Saturday. This is a 4:30 game. You can see we're going to be warming up into the mid-30s there with rain. Sunday, snow for southeastern parts of New England. So overall, our snowfall forecast, light blue 1 to 3 inches, and the medium blue 3 to 6 inches, and then 6+ for some into eastern West Virginia, up into northeastern parts of Pennsylvania, Poughkeepsie, New York, and Worcester, Massachusetts as well. Now, with the risk of not just accumulating snow, but also ice this weekend just south of that zone, now's the time to prepare for potential power outages. Justin Pavic has some tips.
During a winter storm, your home could also be hit with a power outage. Here are some tips so you're ready before the lights go out. Prepare an emergency kit ahead of time. That includes flashlights, extra batteries, and a battery-powered radio, plus a 3-day supply of water and non-perishable food. Keep refrigerator and freezer doors closed as much as possible. Cold food can last 4 hours without power, frozen food 24 to 48 hours. Water pipes can freeze in a power outage. Keep a small stream of water running to the sink to protect those pipes. And have a backup for power-dependent medical devices. Only use a generator outdoors and away from windows to protect from carbon monoxide fumes. For more safety preparedness tips and tools, go to AccuWeather.com/ready.
We are now looking live into Atlanta, Georgia here, 9:05 Eastern Time, where they've been dealing with some wet weather at times. Bree Guy is standing by with the rainy outlook in the south. Bree?
Yeah, check out the ATL now. It doesn't look like they have too many problems. The rain's really already started to pass them by. Like we were talking about just earlier, this has been a quick hitter. It has the wheels greased. It wants to get out of here. And while it's continuing its track east rather quickly, it's already starting to spread into the Carolinas, into northern Florida too as well. Jacksonville had just recently started getting in on the wet weather. And well, hey, we're already halfway through the event there in Jacksonville. Overall, though, we are still tracking just a few lingering showers as we head into the overnight hours. Meanwhile, like I said, again, this thing's been moving and grooving. We haven't been able to really drop too much rain, which is why we haven't really been too concerned about any widespread flooding concerns. I mean, hey, we've had less than a tenth in Montgomery, Atlanta, just at a tenth in Jacksonville over the last 6 hours. Here's the latest on the drought monitor. Well, hey, any rain, we'll take it because we desperately need it. We're still in that exceptional drought across extreme eastern Texas up through Louisiana and Mississippi. That's the worst you can get. You cannot get any worse than that. So, hey, we will take any rain that we can get. And this is just the start of it. We are talking about more rounds of rain moving into the area as we head into the weekend. But for this round, well, hey, it's out of our hair as we head into the overnight hours tonight. Again, a few lingering showers there right along the immediate coast as we head into the overnight hours. A few lingering sparse showers there across central Florida. Most of the area, you're going to dodge those raindrops. And across the southeast, you'll see plenty of sunshine. So we're getting a nice, brief, dry period here as we head into the day on Thursday. Meanwhile, you see what I'm going to say. It's the big elephant in the room. We have our next storm here on the way, and it is going to be bringing us more drenching rain as we head into the weekend. Though for now, Thursday, you are dry, so if you do have any outdoor plans, well, hey, this is the day to do so. We do have a few isolated showers, again, still possible across central Florida. Where do highs go in the midst of all this? Well, you're hovering right around where we typically are for this time of year. In areas like Atlanta, 53, Nashville, 45, Raleigh, 53. You're struggling, though, to get there in areas like Jacksonville and Tampa. Highs in the low to mid 60s, where, hey, in Tampa, we're typically in the 70s here for the time of year. As we head into the weekend, though, like I said, that next storm is on the way. It is going to be bringing some flooding downpours there across the southeast. Heads up, stay weather aware, though it is good news for the drought. To Northern California now, where officials are urging motorists in the Sierra Nevada mountains to slow down in the snow after a crash earlier today. California Highway Patrol released this footage showing a vehicle that went off the road and flipped over a steep embankment in Truckee as snow fell. Thankfully, they say the driver only sustained minor injuries. For the latest on the snow, we head back to Jeff. Jeff, is the snow still coming down here?
It is winding down, Bree. In fact, within the next hour or two, we're going to be seeing most of these winter storm warnings come to a conclusion there in the Sierra. Still some high wind concerns there in Southern California. We also do have some longer-lasting winter storm warnings in northern New Mexico and wind advisories there. Even a freeze watch in effect, a freeze watch south of Phoenix behind this storm. It's going to get colder there for some. Overall, we have a couple of storm systems to talk about. The one that brought all that snow to the mountains of California and rain to the low elevations is still generally on the way through. It's not totally done. We've had a few lightning flashes there into Southern California. Still some heavy showers near Lake Mead and approaching Phoenix. Phoenix, you're going to get a good little burst of rain overnight tonight. We have some snow up into Salt Lake City with some light snow in progress for some. We have had some reports of some rain. Quarter inch of rain there near Menifee, California. A little snow, an inch or so near the Mexico border there. That's Mount Laguna in San Diego County. And also a little bit of hail mixed in. Covered the ground at 2,280 feet there with a little under an inch of rain there as well into parts of San Bernardino County. But overall, we're going to be watching as the storm track remains active across the southwest. Overnight tonight, the rain will move into Phoenix. It's approaching from the western end of Maricopa County right now. And it's going to be moving in and through. Lingering showers in San Diego. We do have some rain into Portland as well. So storm system number 1 moves east. This becomes the weekend snow producer for much of the northeast. It will bring some widespread snow, though, into parts of Colorado, northern New Mexico, and also even to the Texas Panhandle, too. So we have to keep an eye on that. But we're also watching this next system move into the northwest. So as the first storm moves away into the plains, another storm emerges into the northwest. And here it comes into Seattle and Portland with a new band of rain, especially on Friday. There will be some showers tomorrow, but there's a bigger thrust of rain and mountain snow coming in on Friday into Friday evening and Friday night there, increasing into Seattle with some action into the northern part of the Rockies. Look out for some ice for the Columbia River Valley and parts of the Tri-Cities on Saturday as well. That's a tricky spot there as that cold air gets caked up east of the Cascades. This system becomes a big one that we'll talk about with our extended forecast. Big impacts coming to the central and eastern U.S. Monday, Tuesday, into Wednesday from that one later on. Giant waves have been crashing along California's central and southern coast for days now. While the waves have caused damage and even injuries to onlookers, surfers are flocking to the beaches to ride the swells, including here at the famous Mavericks Beach in Half Moon Bay.
We're at Mavericks, Half Moon Bay, California, and the waves are pretty big. It's like 15 to 20 foot faces.
My first time surfing out here. I took the red-eye flight over from Oahu. We were surfing Waimea the last few days and chased the remnants of the swell here. Came out here and got a few. It was a lot of fun.
I saw probably about 6 or 7 at a time out there.
Here at Mavericks, it gets really hollow and you can get one of the biggest barrels of your life.
I'm actually from New York. I learned to surf in Long Island, from a town called Rockaway Beach. And yeah, I just came for the swell. This week I caught a 50-footer I towed in from the jet ski, where you hold the rope and your friend pulls you in. With that, I rode like a 5'10" board, and it was a rush. Like, you know, you get into the wave a little bit early, but all of a sudden the wave starts growing and you just start going really fast, really quickly, and yeah, it's pretty sweet.
It's just really sketchy out there. There's a lot of boulders down there. Like, a lot of people get 2-wave hold downs. Some people have drowned. It's a pretty dangerous wave.
There's some intense rides and some intense wipeouts too. I just got dragged in pretty far, like 300 feet, but I'm okay.
Still to come tonight, we are looking at the effects of El Nino as we kick off 2024. From severe weather to temperatures, see how El Nino plays a role in the weather that we're seeing coming up next. And before you pick up the snow shovel in the Northeast this weekend, we've got reminders on how to clean it all up safely. We'll have those tips in just a few. And we're heading back to the West Coast to check out ski conditions after the latest round of snow. We'll have those details in just a few. On this date in weather history, 2009, we're going to take you to Iowa, where there was freezing rain that caused numerous accidents statewide. Conditions also prompted the closure of airport runways at Waterloo Regional Airport. Learn more about weather history every weeknight right here on AccuWeather Prime.
This isn't Charmin. No wonder I don't feel as clean.
Hurry up, Dad.
I'm trying. This cheap stuff is too thin.
Here's Charmin Ultra Strong.
Ah, my bottom's been saved.
With its diamond weave texture, Charmin Ultra Strong cleans better with fewer sheets and less effort.
What's everybody waiting for? This?
We all go. Why not enjoy the go with Charmin?
And for a shower fresh clean feeling, try Charmin Flushable Wipes.
Lots of you have trusted my advice over the years. I mean, Philly's quarterback delivered, didn't he? Now I'm back with a new fantasy must-play, DraftKings Pick 6. Just pick between 2 and 6 players and choose if they're going to have more or less of a stat. Then compete against others for cash prizes. It's that simple. So get started with up to 50 credits back if your first pick set loses. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app from the leader in fantasy sports. The crown is yours.
Get tools that bring every angle of your beauty business together. Clients can book online 24/7 for multiple services and multiple staff, so scheduling is simple. And with client notes and stored payments, you can offer seamless checkouts, so clients keep coming back. Run your beauty business with tools that bring everything together. Get started at square.com today.
Get ready to laugh like you've never laughed before. Welcome to the ultimate destination for non-stop hilarity.
From dumb dads to vintage videos.
Hi, I'm Jaleel White. This is the Always Funny channel. Get ready to laugh like you've never laughed before. Welcome to the ultimate destination for non-stop hilarity.
From dumb.
Get ready to laugh like you've never laughed before. Welcome to the ultimate destination for non-stop hilarity.
From dumb dads to vintage videos.
Hi, I'm Jaleel White. This is the Always Funny channel.
Now, the forecast from around the country.
That closed out 2023. AccuWeather long-range expert Paul Pastelok spoke with Tony Lawback about how winter is being impacted in 2024.
El Niños don't happen too often. We get them once every 2 to 7 years.
2024 will start in an El Niño cycle, a change from the La Niña years which brought many severe weather events in the heart of the winter months. But aside from December's deadly outbreak, it has been relatively quiet this winter.
You don't really typically get a lot of severe weather in the middle part of the winter season.
That's because the position of the jet stream limits the severe weather threat to areas right along the Gulf Coast in an El Niño as opposed to a La Niña, where the jet stream brings the storm track further north into the country.
You have a very, what we call active storm track, an upper level jet stream, much stronger in the south, which means that the winds aloft are very, very strong. And you can also have a stronger gradient in temperatures at the surface when you set up with these El Niño periods.
El Niño affects beyond just severe weather.
We had forecasted back in September for our winter forecast that it was going to be mild overall for most of the nation, and we saw departures breaking records for the warmest on record.
That had a dramatic effect on snow across the U.S.
We had a couple systems here and there in the parts of the Dakotas just recently, but still, we just can't lay the snow. We just can't get the cold air, continue to stay in place.
But a change in the storm track over the Pacific will start to bring winter back.
But we do think the back end starts picking up. Comes in chunks. That's basically what we kind of forecasted back in September for this coming winter season. Snow coming in big chunks, that southern jet connecting with the northern jet to give us a big storm track in the East Coast later on the season.
For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Tony Lawback.
There's a lot of anticipation, and with a snowstorm on the way to the Northeast, it is time to grab those shovels.
Yeah, clearing sidewalks and driveways of snow may be essential to not being shut in, but health concerns can also play a role in picking up that shovel or even starting the snowblower.
So Talia Reister has details.
It's an annoying task, but it must be done. Shoveling snow is a staple of winter, and it's important to remember that it can actually be dangerous. More than 11,000 people are hospitalized each year from snow shoveling related hazards. About 100 people, especially men or people 55 and older, have died from having heart attacks after shoveling snow. Push, don't lift. Simply push the snow to the side. Lifting will require more energy as the snow can become very heavy as it compacts. If you must lift, be sure to keep your feet hip-width apart. Bend your knees, keep your back straight, and try not to twist your torso. Shovel small amounts at a time, and instead of throwing it, walk the shoveled snow to where you want to pile it. Don't wait until the end of the storm to start. It's much easier to tackle the snow as it falls. Think about it this way. You could shovel 2 inches every 2 hours and it could take a few minutes. Or you could shovel a foot of snow one time and it could take several hours. Take breaks and hydrate. If you feel tired, take a break and drink some water. Shoveling snow drains a lot of energy out of you. Dress appropriately in layers so you have something to remove if you need to cool down after you start to sweat from physical exertion. Warm up for about 10 minutes before you head outside to start shoveling. This includes methods such as squats, walking, or stretching. Prep your driveway or sidewalk with salt or other snow melt before the snow starts falling to prevent yourself from slipping and to make snow shoveling much easier. If you don't think you can do it, or you get out there and realize it's much more than you ask for, don't hesitate to ask your neighbors for assistance. For more safety and preparedness tips and tools, visit AccuWeather.com/ready.
The U.S. Postal Service is reminding customers to clear snow and ice from their sidewalks and stairs this winter. Failing to do so may keep you from getting your mail on time. Emmy Victor has more.
Corella Hayden has 15 years of experience as a USPS letter carrier in Chicago.
Sometimes it's quiet, it's peaceful, you can be alone with your thoughts.
During the winter, she has a simple request for those who live along her South Side route. It's to clear snow and ice from their sidewalks, stairs, and mailboxes.
We really need customers to clear the stairs, clear the walkway from property line to property line.
The Postal Service says in many areas, the snow and ice can create hazards for letter carriers.
Every winter, carriers experience slips, falls, because we were trying to walk on surfaces that weren't safe. There's ice under the snow that you might not be able to see.
Having a clear path to your mailbox, whether it's near your door or the curb, can ensure you get your mail and packages on time.
We don't ever want to skip someone's home. If it's not safe, we just can't do it.
And if you see a neighbor in need, Hayden says to help them out.
If you have a senior neighbor that you know, elderly neighbor that you know they're going to have a hard time to remove the snow on their own, maybe they don't have any children who come by to clear it. If you could be a good neighbor and take care of their path too for us, that would be great.
These tips can keep your mail coming this winter and keep those who deliver it safe. Reporting for AccuWeather, I'm Emmy Victor.
Just a close.
Mammoth Mountain ski area in California saw upwards of 15 inches of fresh snow overnight into today. For a look at what else we've got, fresh powder on the slopes, let's check in with Christina Stallhoop for tonight's ski forecast. Skiers and snowboarders, you know what time it is. Let's dig into your ski forecast, and we're gonna head to the west, where we do have some fresh snow on the ground. Even into the Sierra, not looking too bad, but as we look back toward the Wasatch and even into the Rockies, some decent snowfall at the moment on the snow depth map, and there's still a little more to come. Now, I do want to take you to the Sierra first, where Mammoth Mountain and Palisades Tahoe have just had some fresh snow after our latest storm. Tomorrow's a beautiful day, plenty of sunshine, temperatures in the upper 20s before the clouds creep in for Friday, and then we cool down quite a bit on Saturday at Mammoth Mountain. So you know what? Overall, not a bad stretch, just a cool one on the way. Palisades Tahoe, it's a similar story here. We keep that sunshine around a little while longer Thursday and Friday before the clouds come in. Not quite as chilly, but still chilly, at least enough so to get out in the mountain on Saturday. Now, in terms of what happens into the Wasatch, hey, Alta's looking great. They had a record-setting year last year, and while this year's not record-setting, at least so far, we do have some more snow into your AccuWeather exclusive forecast. In fact, let's open up one of our winter casts here. This one, 3 to 6 inches through 6 a.m. on Saturday. So if you're looking for an excuse to get out and shred, well, there's a little fresh powder for you. I think that's a good enough excuse, at least in my humble opinion. I'm not telling you to take Friday off or anything, but if you do, just don't tell your boss it was my fault. Okay, Deer Valley, it's more of the same story here. We end up with a few flakes on Thursday and Friday, even into early Saturday morning. Temperatures in the upper third and
Deliciously cold, though, as we often are. We're at 19 degrees. It could get worse than this. We'll have more Prime after the break.
Really some fresh snow in the Northeast, too. We're checking out the weekend storm coming up.
And the Southeast continues to see drenching downpours, and the parade of storms will keep on marching. We're going to tell you who could see the storms this weekend into next week coming up. And here's the view from Duluth, Minnesota. There is some snow out there, a bit of a cool breeze. Not tenaciously cold, though, as we often are. We're at 19 degrees. It could get worse than this. We'll have more Prime after the break.
Lots of you have trusted my advice over the years. Philly's quarterback delivered, didn't he? Now I'm back with a new fantasy must-play, DraftKings Pick 6. Just pick between 2 and 6 players and choose if they're going to have more or less of a stat. Then compete against others for cash prizes. It's that simple. So get started with up to 50 credits back if your first pick set loses. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app from the leader in fantasy sports. The crown is yours.
I had a really great time with you tonight. So are you going to work tomorrow?
I will.
I guess I'll see you then.
But you and Parker clicked, and that didn't happen with anyone else. Maybe he needs a chance to fall in love with you again.
Life in a Castle by Maisie Elizabeth Beaton.
Wow! Oh my gosh, it's just like a ring ding.
I like bones.
God, Dahmer, you are such a...
Castle by Maisie. Life in a Castle by Maisie Elizabeth Beaton.
Wow! Oh my gosh, it's just like a ring ding.
I like bones.
God, Dahmer, you are such a freak!
See what some people have got. It's an extraordinary rarity.
Spectacular.
It's a cracking item.
Shall we now move on to what I think they're worth? I'm going to say
I'd be looking at between...
I can see that making in the region of £20,000 for the two. 20 and £30,000.
£100,000. What a value.
You have amazed me.
Shades of black, we celebrate. Shades of black, we celebrate black culture. Shades of black, we celebrate black culture.
There you go, friend.
Shades of Black is your playlist for epic movies.
We're gonna have to charge you a cleaning fee.
A cleaning fee?
Fan favorite series.
Jesse?
I'm sorry, I'm not your father.
Plus, bold comedy.
Look, I'm sick of this, man. I've been robbed, kidnapped, shot at. I could have stayed in Chicago.
Shades of Black. Watch now.
Shoveling snow is a staple of winter, and it's important to remember that it can actually be dangerous. Push, don't lift. Simply push the snow to the side. Lifting will require more energy as the snow can become very heavy as it compacts. If you must lift, be sure to keep your feet hip-width apart. Bend your knees, keep your back straight, and try not to twist your torso. Don't wait until the end of the storm to start. It's much easier to tackle the snow as it falls. Think about it this way. You could shovel 2 inches every 2 hours and it could take a few minutes. Or you could shovel a foot of snow one time and it can take several hours. Dress appropriately in layers so you have something to remove if you need to cool down after you start to sweat from physical exertion. Prep your driveway or sidewalk with salt or other snow melt before the snow starts falling to prevent yourself from slipping and to make snow shoveling much easier. For more safety and preparedness tips and tools, visit AccuWeather.com/ready.
Multi-car pileups can go from bad to worse in a matter of seconds. There's a lot of pressure to drive fast and keep up with traffic, but driver error is the most common cause of trouble. If you must be out on the roads, try taking secondary roads at lower speeds. Make sure you're looking ahead of you and not just the short-range distance in front of you. Slow down if you can't see the road when conditions worsen. Reduce your speed by half to account for traction conditions. Create space around your vehicle. If you tailgate, you won't have enough room or time to avoid a crash. Do one thing at a time. Gently press on the brakes, then turn, then accelerate. If you do get caught in a pileup, stay in your vehicle, especially if you're uninjured, until the scene is under control. For more safety and preparedness tips and tools, visit AccuWeather.com/ready. Thanks for being with us here on AccuWeather Prime. We are tracking what will become a high-impact weather event this weekend across the Northeast. In the meantime, we have kind of a low-level nuisance-level disturbance here, bringing some snow to parts of Ontario and Quebec. And this will